Hi, I'm Superset, and I used to love Overwatch back when it was new, when it was recently released. It was the first game that I got for when I built my first gaming PC, and I was super excited about it. But recently, my experience with it has just been getting worse and worse, and there's been some recent discussion about this. There was a video called The State of Overwatch, released by Seagull. I made it with Jane, the coach for Canada's Overwatch team in the World Cup, with XQC, Shore were also in the discussion, and I'm going to talk about some similar things in this video, but I'm going to add a little bit of my own stuff as well. And I also saw that there was recently a video called How to Still Love Overwatch, an advanced guide by Your Overwatch on YouTube. And I mean, that's just ridiculous that a video like this should have to exist for a game. A guide on how to like it? I mean, the game should be good enough in itself that you shouldn't have too much a guide on how to like it. And people are saying that, oh, just don't play competitive. But I mean, Overwatch is meant to be a competitive game, so why wouldn't you want to play competitive? I mean, for me, that's kind of the point of the entire game. So there are a lot of reasons to love Overwatch, I think. The heroes of the game, I really like a lot of them, like their designs and their abilities, and they are really fun to play, most of them. And then the look of the game, as I said, the design of the characters, but also of the maps, and just like the visual aesthetics of the game is very polished. I just love the way that it looks, pretty much. And then there are these awesome moments that you can get in Overwatch when you get like that sick play, like wiping the entire team. Those kind of moments really give you like endorphin, get you hyped up, make you feel like you're really good at the game and like actually doing something. And it's also really fun to watch like these kind of plays and by like professional esports players in the Overwatch League and the Overwatch World Cup. I really enjoy watching those. And then there's these developer updates with Jeff from the Overwatch team.
What is up, Overwatch community? This is Jeff from the Overwatch team.
And all the memes that come with that. I just find that really funny. So over to the aspects that ruined the game, in my opinion. The solo queue is extremely broken. It's very hard to get any teamwork if you're playing in solo queue. Usually there's no or very bad communication or teamwork, and people get toxic when things go wrong. They don't know how to handle mistakes. And there are statistics that you can look at, like how well you're doing, but really they don't show that much. And people say, oh, I have gold damage or gold eliminations or whatever, but you're still losing. So I mean, it doesn't really matter that much. And Jeff from the Overwatch team talked about this, and they were considering how they should do the leaderboards and stuff, because in other games like MOBAs, like League of Legends, there is a leaderboard where you can see how all of the players on both teams are doing, kills, deaths, assists, and so on. But in Overwatch you can only see it for yourself, so it's kind of hard to get the big picture of who's doing well in our team. Is everyone pulling, doing their part? And so Look for Game was introduced as a sort of way to deal with the issues of solo queue, and it does help a little bit, but it takes a lot of time to find good people to play with there. people have hidden profiles, so you can't. I mean, that was a feature that was introduced together with Look for Game, private profile, so you can't see what they've been playing, how long they've been playing, if they seem to be any good at the characters that they say they want to play. Like in Look for Game, you can choose you want to play as a tank, as a DPS, or as a healer. And a lot of times people say they want to play a tank, but then they have no experience at all. It's playing as a tank, and then obviously that's not gonna be good for your team if you have a tank who doesn't know what the hell he's doing. People also join these groups where, like it says in the title, like only join if you want to communicate and do voice chat, and then they don't even join the voice chat or don't use their mic. And yeah, people picking one role like DPS tank or healing, and then actually playing another one. And you can lock the roles, but that prevents you from playing certain compositions. Like maybe you don't want to be locked to 2-2. Maybe you want to be able to do 3-3, like 3 tanks and 3 healers. So I don't think that's a very good solution, honestly. And then there are these so-called cancer comps. There's also these like hard counters in the game. If an enemy picks, if a player on the enemy team picks a certain hero, you have to switch to like a hard counter, or your team is pretty much, the game is pretty much lost. For an example, like if the enemy has a Pharah or Bastion or Doomfist, those are some like classic characters that can really make people flame, and that usually needs like special counters. And I think that it would be so much nicer if Overwatch had like more skill-based matchups, where heroes have a fair chance of winning duels, like no matter who you're dueling. Maybe that's an unreasonable idea, but I don't know, I think that would make it a lot better, because you kind of feel powerless if you need to pick like a hard counter like this. Like a lot of times you need another player on your team to swap to a hard counter, and maybe they want to do it because they don't know how to play that character, or they just don't want to swap. Yeah, that's when you feel powerless, because you are playing the hero that you're supposed to do in a composition that can counter what they are doing, but you need this other player to swap in order to counter, but they won't do it, so you're powerless and the game will probably be lost. And specifically, Brigitte is a new hero that a lot of players hate.
And of course, we recently added Brigitte into the game. We hope that you're having fun with her. I believe that it's a real unique experience when, the Brigitte main on the opposing team corners you in some far off part of the map. And she's using that whip shot all over your sensitive skin. You just can't get away, but the knockback feels amazing. And it just goes on and on.
Probably because many people don't know how to deal with her. She's hard to kill, she's got a lot of crowd control, and generally I think she's a very annoying hero, and her stun should have been nerfed a long time ago, and it still hasn't been patched, so I don't know why they're taking so long to deal with that.
And we've heard that there are concerns about Brigitte's ability to stun her enemies in rapid succession. We were hearing a big outcry from a lot of people saying, this isn't really fun for us to play. But please rest assured that it's all part of our master plan. So let me explain a little bit better to you. As you guys know, We're always looking to minimize the amount of toxicity that takes place in online games. And it was during one of my regular stress-induced nightmares that the answer finally revealed itself to me. You guys can't wreck my games if you can't move. So that's what over the next few weeks, we will be gradually increasing the duration of Brigitte's stun so that eventually you'll all be permanently stunned until the end of time.
And then, yeah, these cancer comps, there's, I think the most common ones are goats and part chip. There's also, I've played against like a 6-stack, 6 healers. That was just ridiculous. In general, it's ridiculous that one specific set of heroes can be so overpowered when they are combined like this. And these kind of compositions are super hard to counter for uncoordinated teams. And if you're playing solo queue or in a group that you found in LFG, then you are most likely kind of uncoordinated. So what all of this like boils down to is that you're not able to pick the heroes that you enjoy playing just because you have to do it to counter something on the enemy team, and that really takes the fun out of the game, in my opinion. So to summarize here, there are a lot of things that I love about Overwatch, but unfortunately there are too many bad things that ruin it. So it's a team play game where people don't know how to, or they don't want to team play. Like one bad teammate can lose the entire game, even if the rest of your team is like super good and you're communicating and everything. And there's a lot of frustration that comes up when playing this game, from the cancer comps and the counters, people not working together, people leaving the game for no reason, or maybe they have some reason, and people throwing the game. It really makes you frustrated. But then, yeah, these awesome moments, these plays, they are pretty rare, at least in my opinion, but you still kind of want to chase them, you know? You want to get that next awesome play. And good games, they are usually really good, and the bad games are really bad. So it's either like a landslide or you get completely wrecked. And when I first started playing this game, I thought it would be good since it's like based on matches. You can play just one match and like one day, and then okay, I'm done playing now. Just gonna play for 30 minutes or something. But this frustration makes you either just want to quit immediately, or you keep trying until you get a decent game, because you know there can be good games. Like some evenings I've had like only good games the entire evening, and it's been great. Like that's how Overwatch is supposed to be. But you never know if we're gonna get matched up with some bad teammates, and this just wastes a lot of time. So because of everything that I've mentioned in this video, I'm uninstalling. I've had some good times, but it's time to move on.